Hi friends, this is your pal Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about Daggerheart and its direction to players, giving them responsibility to deliver three things in at the table for the campaign and for each session. Theme, tone, and feel. Actually, they said tone, feel, and theme. Tone, feel, and theme. And I'm gonna use their order just in case their order was on purpose, right? It was purposeful, right? So let's talk about this. So one, Dungeons and Dragons does do this. It tells the players that they're responsible for telling a good story. So I actually, you know what, Dungeons and Dragons does not do this. Dungeons and Dragons puts some of the impetus on players to tell a good story. Okay, but this is done better in Daggerheart. I think this is brilliant. They're saying it says in the player's best practices, it is your responsibility every campaign and every session to deliver the theme, the tone, and the feel. Now, in the theme, let's walk them through the theme. All right. Hey everybody, thanks for coming and playing in my, in my fantasy, in this fantasy story that we're all telling. You've all come, and the king has called you, and the king has called you, and King Farble, it says, "Thank you for coming to my call. I've called you to protect the ancient realm of Chassel Fair," right? And the dungeon master is there, and they're building a sense of fantasy. They're building a sense of urgency, that the realm is under peril, right? And he says, "Okay, now each one of you comes forward to introduce yourself to the king," and first the druid comes forward, and he says, "I am Green Pharaoh from the great forest, and I come to bring Tooth and Claw to aid you, my king." And then the next player says, "Oh, hey, I'm Dilbert the Farter." Yeah, or, and the book is saying, "You suck! Stop! It is your job to deliver the theme," right? We're not here for fun. It is your job to deliver the theme, right? And it just does it more direct, and the impetus is high. And actually D&D is like, oh, you got to tell a good. It doesn't say, "Hey, you suck if you're not delivering theme, you're not delivering tone, and you're not delivering feel," right? Now, tone, this is interesting too, right? If the dungeon master has the room dark and has candles on the table, right, then you want to stay in character as much as possible. You don't want to be turning your phone on, with your super bright, you want to turn your phone off and try to match the tone, right? If every player at the table is trying to stay in character as much as possible, all right, you want to do that as well, right? And then finally, the feel. And this is interesting. What is the feel of the game? And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know. Like, I know what tone is, and I know what theme is, right? What is the feel of the game? I'm not certain. I'm not positive what Spencer Stark means by that, right? But man, am I eager to find out. Right? And and there are going to be I'm going to sit, with game masters who run Daggerheart, and I'm going to see what they think feel is. I'm still crafting what I think it is. But I think it's important, right? And I love that they're like, feel of the game, feel of each session and each campaign, because it's not a game, is important and distinct from tone. And I really don't know what he means by that right now. And I'm thrilled to have something to discover, right? Because I've been doing Dungeons and Dragons for 50 years, and there are times where, a lot of things in 2024 core rulebooks I knew, right? And so the idea that Daggerheart has this new area to discover at the meta level is fascinating. I absolutely love Daggerheart. Completely fallen in love with this game. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.